If you need flashy, fancy videos and loads of jump cuts, then you're in the wrong place. But if you want actionable advice on how to get AI copywriting services set up that you can actually sell, or how to use AI copywriting in your own business effectively, you're in the right place. In the last video on this channel, we talked about how we can use AI in order to get 90% of the content written for you and you become the quality control officer. This is great for you. What it's going to mean is instead of spending 10, 15 hours per client, you're spending 1 to 2. You're not writing all the content anymore. AI is doing it because we trained the AI properly. And that's what we talk about on this channel. You instead get to do quality control. You talk strategy with your clients. You over-deliver because you've got the time to do so. And that keeps you around. They can't get rid of you because you become an essential part of their business. You and the tools you build for them to deliver on what they need. In the last video, we talked about the 3 core services that I recommend you starting with. Now, just to be clear, I'm going to say this twice to you. You don't deliver all 3 of these. Okay, I'll say it again. You are not going to deliver all 3 of these to your clients. You're going to niche down and start with one, and you can always spread out into the others because AI is going to do most of the heavy lifting. But in the last video, I gave you a brief overview of all 3 of these: driving traffic with social ghostwriting, capturing leads with educational email courses, and building authority with newsletters. Now, I'm going to go through all of these over the next few weeks. It's the driving traffic with social media ghostwriting that I'm going to dive into first. We're going to talk about what you need in order to make this effective for your clients. We want to make sure that you are irreplaceable, but we also need to make sure that what you're delivering is high quality, that when your client looks at it, you're blowing their socks off. Or if you're doing this for your own business, then it basically is meaning that you can replace somebody in your business, or you're freeing up a ton of time so you don't have to do this, and that instead somebody AI is doing it for you, and you've got that time to go off and do the other things that are crucial to running your business, the things you actually have the skills in. What we're going to do is we're going to build AI tools, very simple micro AI tools within one small niche, one group of people that we're going to serve, in order to do their social media for them, to be their copywriter, to be their ghostwriter. And then what we can do is we can rinse and repeat. We can take the same thing and we can just copy it, tweak it to that particular brand, and we can sell it to another client. So what we're going to do in this video is break this down. And what I want to talk about is what needs to be in your social media knowledge base, because we're not going to necessarily talk today about the prompts or about the actual content output, but what I want to show you is how important a knowledge base is. Now, we're going to go very micro on this, because you're going to put several different documents into your knowledge base. This is what the AI is going to pull from in order to be able to write that social media copy. It's the documents that you're going to give it that it's going to pull from to know about the brand and your writing style and the platforms you're writing on and the style of content you want on each platform. These are the documents that have to be put together, and they have to be put together in the right way. By the way, if you want any more help with this, my email address is down in the description. But what I want to do is I want to just go really micro into one of those documents. Now, this document is not going to be very long, but it's going to be very clear. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to set out the unique copywriting style. So this would be a style document on how to write copy for social media. Now, you would also create one of these for style for the educational email course, and you do it for the newsletter as well. So you would start off using it for social media, and then we would tweak it if we started to branch out with a particular business and write these other types of copywriting for them. If we started with just email courses, and that's where we wanted to start, we would also need this document. So I just want to give you some examples of what would be in this document that would go into the knowledge base of the AI tool that you are building. So something that you would want is what we say and what we don't say. So the language that you use in your social media post needs to be on brand. And there'll be certain words that are used on social media already, the social media content that you have seen that's already been published on your client's social media account, or the social media you as the business owner are already putting out. But there's also words that you don't want to use. And these might be generic words that ChatGPT or AI tend to fall back on, that give away that it is AI writing that we don't want to use, but also words that don't align with the brand as well. So we want to give the AI a list of these words to use a lot of and words to not use that often. We also want to give it rules on punctuation. So exactly how do you write? So something that is clear AI slop is em dashes. We want to tell the AI straight away, never use them. But there's also other things that you might put into your writing a lot that you want to include. So if somebody is sort of a coach or a consultant or a journalist, they might have a particular way of writing, and you want to emphasize that in your knowledge base, in this stylized document, so that the AI writes like you. So you want to set out those rules, things you like, things that you don't like. You also want to establish a strategy when it comes to emojis. Maybe you don't want to use them at all. Never use an emoji. Maybe there's just 2 or 3 that you like. Maybe you want to go big with emojis, but when you're using bullet points, you want them to use stars, or you want the AI to use arrows. Maybe there's a list of emojis you never ever want the AI to use. You can set this out in your stylizing document, and then you know that you don't have to go in and edit your content, because AI has a clear set of rules on exactly how to write like you. And then you want to define formatting and spacing rules. This isn't just for how you like to write, but this is also how you want it, so it's easy for the content to be read. And these rules will be different for different social media platforms. A LinkedIn post looks very different to an X post, which looks very different to something that you would put on Facebook or Instagram. So you want to make sure that paragraphs are not too long, you've got line breaks in the right place, you have got high readability. These are just 4 examples of things that go into a document when it comes to stylizing. This isn't everything, but this is something that people don't realize you want to put into your knowledge base, along with everything else that can go in there in order to get social media content that writes just like you. So you can't just go into these tools and say, write me a post about X, because crap in gets you crap out. You actually have to have a framework. You have to think about what's going into your AI knowledge base. You need to break it into separate documents, and those documents need to be laid out in a format where it's easy for your AI tool that you're using, whatever you've decided to build on, to pull the information out and use that information. This is really, really important part of AI copywriting. If you want some help with this, leave me a question, send me an email. We're going to break these ideas down more in the next video. But if there's anything you want me to go into, I'd love to make a video for you. Share it on the channel so that everybody, including yourself, benefits from it. I'll see you in the next one.